How do you feel about Newsom?
Had him on my show Friday.
I saw that.
And I first of all, I love him. You just like a guy or you don't. I've known him for a long time. He's done my show for a long time. Do I love everything he does as the governor of California? No, I don't. I wouldn't say I'm undertaxed. Yeah, I have issues with this state. He's a guy. One reason I want him to run for president, well, is because he's obviously a winner. This guy could fucking do it. It's insane that we have the guy, but we can't run him because we have to tiptoe around Biden and
define a winner.
Well, he would win the election.
Oh, so
he would win the election.
He's a talented debater, speaker, communicator, deflector,
and politician, and he's a smart guy. He's a smart, real guy with a pair of balls. Do I love everything? No, you never do with a politician. But first of all, I think if he ran for president, it'd be great because it would force him to move to the center. Now you're running not just in California. I mean, this is California. It's weirdo.
Are you a results-driven guy?
No, I like to watch things fall apart.
I mean, you wouldn't build a show that you build and win at the levels you won, for decades if you weren't results-driven, right? I mean, you're Bill Maher.
What do you mean? What's the point about results?
That's exactly where I'm going with you. So results-driven guy.
Right.
What areas has Newsom won in? You said he's a winner.
Winner of the election. He could win the election.
But based on what, though? Do you want results? Like, what has he done to California to say he's a winner?
Oh God, I don't know. It's too.
Bill, you're a smart.
You know what?
guy.
He made it rain, okay, dude. It wasn't raining.
I saw when you said that. He said, "Great job."
It wasn't raining, and now it's raining. So he's got my vote.
Okay,
you know what?
Respect. I mean,
I don't know. I don't follow the news.
What's going on, everyone? Sauce Ken here today, and I got some news for you guys. So, as you guys saw, parties going viral everywhere you go. Bill Maher got stumped, as you saw from the intro, by questions that Patrick Bet-David asked him. And it's been kind of vindicating what I always been saying about liberals in general, is that I believe liberals are more in a bubble than conservatives are. Now, the whole center point of this video is how Patrick Bet-David exposes kind of the tribal political framework that a lot of liberals operate on. And I'm going to give you an example. This is from Bill Maher 2 years ago, as he claimed he never wanted to take the vaccine, but he took it for the team. And this is illustrating something that I've been pointing out a lot with the political left, as that they're very ideologically tribal, right? They don't stand on principle. All they care about is power. Hey, look, I don't want to criticize my people. This is why, like, for instance, when riots happen, if the right do something, the right and the left will criticize the extremism on the right. If the left do something, only the right will criticize the left, and it gives this optics that it's just partisan, right? And the left just stay quiet. They condone it. Look at BLM. All you got to do is look back to 2020. So I want to play this little clip, and then I'll go into another clip about another example of another prominent liberal, and how his bias shows. Well, let's take this 30-second clip.
Because like now they want us to do all these boosters we were talking about with Andrew. I mean, I don't want a booster. I never wanted the vaccine. I took one for the team. And by the way, you know who doesn't get a lot of vaccines? The millennials. I know a lot of millennials, especially the 20-olds. They don't want it. They don't want it. They don't think they need it. They're probably right. But I tell them, I didn't want it either. I took one for the team. But every 8 months.
So that kind of summarized my point there. Like, these people are very tribal, right? They go very on political lines, and it is not surprising why he can't answer the question. And when he asks, "What you like about Newsom?" What Bill Maher likes about Newsom is that he's a liberal Democrat. That's it. That's the only reason. That sums about up. And then if I make a video like I did on my channel, it's why the left hate critical thinkers. I get flack for it from the left. Oh, that's not true. This is on both sides. They always love to both sides it when you make a specific critique against them. You never noticed that with liberals? And this is one of the reasons why I think I never became a liberal in the first place. Because I see the cognitive dissonance with these people. They believe things, they just say stuff. I'm telling you a personal story. Stories of a black conservative. I remember in high school, I had a liberal friend, and he sprouted, all races may not be, all conservatives may not be racist, but all races are conservative. Pretty much insinuating that every racist isn't conservative. And I looked at him and I was like, how you know that? What evidence do you have to support that? oh, it's just common sense. Like, everyone knows that. Liberals are more accepting. Liberals are more this. Liberals are more that. And I'm like, no, they're not. I said, if you're a black man, you disagree with them, wouldn't you hate the black man more? Wouldn't you call the black man voting against his self-interest? Like where you get this information from? And he couldn't back it up. He couldn't tell me anything. Where he get this proof that all the races are conservative? And from then on, I'm like, yo, I ain't gonna trust a word these people say. And it has served me well ever since. But I digress. Let's get into this clip with Sam Harris and how he kind of exposed, talking about how the border crisis is exaggerated. I'd like you to be the judge of that in the comment section. Let's take a look.
It's I'm much more worried, frankly, that Biden will suffer an erosion of support for for other reasons on the kind of the opposite side of the political continuum, among independents and others who are worried about the southern border, for instance. I mean, you only need to see a few videos coming from the southern border and a few, arguably uncharitable framings of those videos by propagandists from the other side. I mean, someone like Tucker Carlson claiming that, look, this is Biden's policy, and then he'll show you people by the thousands coming into coming across the border without any sign that we know who they are, we can do anything about it. That I think a lot of people really care about, and especially in the aftermath of October 7th, right? The idea that we have a border that we just can't police, that we're not inclined to police, and and millions of people are coming to the country, and we have no idea who they are, but we know at this point that they're not just Latin Americans looking for work. They're people from all over the world and coming in here for who knows what purpose. You spin that up into a conspiracy theory or just constrained fear for the future. That's the issue I think he has to get a handle on more than signaling that it's daylight between him and Netanyahu, where I think there should be daylight between him and Netanyahu, because I think Netanyahu is a fairly Trumpian and self-serving character at this point. He is somebody who is at least in part culpable for the problem Israel finds itself in.
So you've seen that from Sam Harris. Sam Harris called Tucker Carlson a propagandist. And how I would frame and how I would push back against that is that, okay, Tucker Carlson gets something wrong, you call him a propagandist. When a liberal person gets something wrong, you just say he got it wrong, right? Like you spin a different. The outcomes come differently from your perception, how you reported it, and you get labeled a propagandist by the liberals. But the liberals, they give themselves a lot of credit. They give themselves a lot of leeway. Oh, they give themselves a lot of consideration, but they don't equally apply it to the other side. And that's one thing I'll point out against a lot of liberals, is that they give themselves slack, but they're hard on others. They have a higher standard for other people compared to their side. And this is the biggest problem. This is why a lot of people are moving away from mainstream media. These are the facts. I'm not preaching any propaganda here. These are the facts. Biggest news media and the websites in the world see traffic slumps for second month in a row, while traffic for X is at an all-time high. Look at this. And all the majority are liberal. CNN, BBC, The Guardian, New York Times, MSN. All these are, look, the more left it seems, the more traffic they lose. Explain that to me. If you mainstream media is giving us objective news, why people are moving away from it? You can't keep saying it's perception. And about this border crisis issue, Ben Shapiro went down there. He talked to the actual Border Patrol agents that's experiencing this. They're saying that there's so much influx of illegals coming in that they spend most of their days, instead of patrolling the border, they spend most of their days doing administrative work, aka bringing the illegals in and processing them. That's what's taking up most of their time. But you want to pretend that how the conservatives are framing the border crisis is a narrative, a talking point, propaganda, exaggerated? This is the problem with you liberals. You're thinking the wrong party lines. You're too tribal. You have an unconscious bias. Like, it's so funny with the liberals. Like, now I'm going in because I've been waiting for y'all to slip up again. Y'all want to talk about in hiring, how unconscious bias can play a part into discriminatory practice, but y'all don't hold yourselves to the same standard when it comes to media bias? Let's go through some examples, and I promise you, We'll go into the Bill Maher stuff at the end of this. But just real quick, higher viewpoint intolerance developed on the left in 2010s is mostly a liberal female intolerance. But I'm generalizing this for liberals in general, because Democratic men are less tolerant of opposite opinions than Republican women. I love to bring this up. Investors.com, media bias. Pretty much all of journalism now leans left, study shows. Right? This also can explain why many people are moving away from news websites, because majority of these news websites employ what? Liberal journalists. Research has shown that liberals tend to report higher levels of trust in the media, generally higher levels of trust in more outlets compared to conservatives. So a liberal will be like, I go to these 5 outlets, but 4 of those 5 outlets are liberal. Fox News is the only mainstream conservative media company that reports the news that's out currently. Daily Wire is like the second one, but that's more on the alternative media spectrum. And this is the argument I'm having, is that what's the difference? I'm a conservative. I only got one media outlet that's kind of pushing, that reports the news from my worldview. But while majority of the media landscape is ran by liberals, majority of journalists are run by liberals. So that's not a bias in of itself. And then you sit here, write articles, and then pretend that you're objective. You're not. I can't believe you're not. Sam Harris got the Biden laptop story wrong, but he was happy that they didn't cover it because it allowed his guy to win. And that's the kind of games that liberal journalists can play. And they're the majority, right? That's how unconscious bias come in. When a story comes out that's negative towards your guy, Newsom, Biden, you're more inclined to distrust the story, smear the story, mislabel the story as, oh, that's a hacked information. This is propaganda. And then years later, oh, I was wrong about that. But hey, my guy won, so I could admit it now. That comes across too Machiavellian for me. But I digress. Let's get into the rest of this video. I know, long-winded way of going about it, but let's get straight into it and let's see how this conversation continues.
Bill Maher,
what do you mean? What's the point about results?
That's exactly where I'm going with you. So results-driven guy.
Right.
What areas has Newsom won in? You said he's a winner.
Winner of the election. He could win the election.
But based on what, though? Do you want results? Like, what has he done to California to say he's a winner?
Oh, God. I don't know. It's too...
Bill, you're a smart guy.
You know what? He made it rain, okay, dude? It wasn't raining.
I saw when you said that. He said, great job.
It wasn't raining, and now it's raining. So he's got my vote.
Okay,
you know what?
Respect. I mean,
I don't know. I don't follow the news. It's
yeah,
a character
Bill,
I play on television.
Don't deflect. You're a very smart guy. You're a very smart guy.
It's a character. I actually live with my delicate wife, Sue, and our 8 homeschooled children. We just had twins, Sean and Hannity.
You see the deflection there? That's craziness, right? Hey, just give me some, like, you say he's a good governor. You say he's a winner. Why is he a winner? And it seems like what Bill Maher is kind of admitting here is, hey, majority of media is liberal, so they're going to report the guy favorably. There's more of us than conservatives, right? This is why on YouTube they're trying to, authoritative sources. We'll point you to authoritative sources. And if majority of these authoritative sources are liberal media outlets, and the people they employ have a heavy inclination to be liberals themselves, what incentive do they have to actually call it down the middle? And this is the problem. I already demonstrated that liberals have a lack of an ability to call it down the middle. They label things misinformation when it's merely a contrarian view to what they view the world to be. When conservatives say fake news, they're telling you liberals, they're telling independents, hey, these people have a monopoly on how information gets spread around, and they tilt it towards their preferred worldview. And the minute you challenge that preferred worldview, COVID, you see what happens to you. You get smeared, right? YouTube comes down on you and censor you if you dare question the science. The science is a politicized term because we understand, hey, these people who purport and spread information out there, they're only going to spread information that they view favorably. This is the argument. Bill Maher just showed that. Unconsciously, he showed that. This is why I feel vindicated with this video coming out. I digress.
Don't believe everything you see on TV.
So
David.
then what this does to me, this actually makes it easier for me to not even have to have this discussion. I just move on to other things we can talk about, is you base your character on your candidate. You base your candidate based on being a good debater, deflecting, not necessarily results. Because
No, I don't.
if that's how you do it, then
Shut up.
Newsom is fantastic,
This is
Bill.
stupid. You're better than this.
Really?
I hope so. I don't know. I'm just getting to
when
know
I
you,
asked
but
you-
Oh, see, and I don't know if I'm getting triggered because it reminds me of, you know, growing up and dealing with the same little tactics that liberals like to do. They can't disprove you. Oh, you making racist talking points. Oh, you're giving talking points to racists. When I point out how black kids don't study as much as Asian kids, someone's going to say in my comment section, oh, you're giving talking points for racists, so now racists are going to use your argument. It doesn't matter. It's the truth. A racist can be right? If a racist says 2 + 2 is 4, would you disagree with the racist because he's a racist? Huh? He's right. Okay. Argue the facts. Argue the message, not arguing and slandering the messenger. And this is what Bill Maher and liberals typically like to do.
Oh,
I
I'm
said-
told you are. I mean,
said-
it's a silly argument. A debater, you know, like I can't tell. I've been doing political commentary on television for 30 years. I think I can tell when a guy is just debating or whether make a calculated guess on how he's going to be actually as president. There's two different things: running and being the guy. Do I like it that Newsom is good at the running part? I do, because that means he can get elected. Do I also think that if he got elected, he would be a good president? I do. Generally moving the country in the right direction. I would like to take him back a little toward the middle, but, you know.
Based on what, though? Based on what?
Well, you know, California is just a kind of a crazy, you know, can't do the taxes, the graft really is what is the. I was asking him about that. He says they're attacking it. The red tape, the graft.
Yeah, but that's the tenets of liberal policies, because at the end of the day, they got to put their thumb on the scale. And how are you going to put your thumb on the scale? You got to draw lines. You got to create more lines, right? A totalitarian government always come with more laws, not less. Conservatives want to cut laws, like what the child labor law is a perfect example of that. Overregulation was what leads to totalitarianism. Black codes, they're overregulation.
The fact that they can't build a fucking homeless home for less than $900,000. They couldn't complete a fucking high-speed rail. I'm going to say on my show Friday, this is going to be controversial, but Hamas, let them come over here and build our fucking tunnels because we cannot get it done. No, I'm serious. It's a win-win. If they would like renounce and say, we will not attack Israel, we will hire you to build infrastructure. These people know how to build a tunnel.
Yeah, that's.
I mean, they've been building a tunnel on the east side of New York since 1972.
So I want to leave it off there, but look, just all you have to do is look at California. The results speak for itself. When you look at Newsom, you look at the policies, positions that he pushed. You look at the policies that Democrats push. It wrecks their cities. Sanctuary city policy. That's the number one thing I could point to. Texas can be like, okay, hey, I need help with this bucket. Here you go, California. Here you go, Chicago. Here you go, Boston. What happens? You're in a budget shortfall because you don't have enough taxes to actually handle the influx of new people. But you designate yourself as a sanctuary city. Why? Because you want it to look good, thinking that you'll never get migrants or you won't get that much. And then Texas is like, hey, we call your bluff. You say you're open and welcoming to all immigrants. Okay, help us out here because we don't want them here. We can't handle them. Help us out. And now y'all complaining in the comment section. Y'all complaining in media. Eric Adams is damn near about to betray the Democratic Party over this immigration problem. But then you got people like Sam Harris who pretends that the borders issue is exaggerated. Or the conservatives are propagandizing off of that when we're just speaking how we think is the solution. What is the problem? The problem is we can't accept any more people. We shouldn't be processing more people. That's going to create incentives for even more people to come here. All you got to do, look at the stats. Biden has more migrants in 2 years than Trump had his entire term. That's how much of an influx increase we have of illegal migrants. But how you going to explain that? You said it's not Biden policies? Come on, guys. Come on. We got to be objective here. But hey, let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. You agree with me, disagree with me? I'd like to hear it all in the comment section below. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. And I appreciate you guys watching to the end of the video. And I'll catch you guys on the next one. Peace.